coming in.
Hey. Damn, I got this scratch on my head. Hey, y'all.
How you scratch
Oh,
yourself?
trying to fix the thing.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
y'all. Welcome
Hello.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's
You always
Katrina
coming over with some song.
and Andre, and we are Mr.
You're Mister.
Mr. Mr. and Mrs. Beautiful. But we're gonna
I
flip that.
can't.
We're gonna say Miss
Oh. Y'all, I hit my
and
head.
Mr. Beautiful.
Oh,
This
okay.
my baby stuff right here. I'm just
Let's see
tagging
how this
along
thing works.
and having fun with it.
Do that
What's that
roller
right there,
coaster
babe?
I don't know. I'm just. Oh, there we go. We trying something new today. All
Damn.
right, go ahead.
Y'all look at the bottom. That's dope. Oh, that's awesome. So we know
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
should have
tell you.
put in. Oh, hold on. Let me edit it.
We're gonna tell you about it at the end anyway. But I hope everybody had a great day and a great week from last week to this week,
Let's
because
see.
we can only live every
There you
day,
go.
day by day,
Oh, shots. Miss
one
Leslie had
step
that
at a
running on her, so
time,
I wanted to have it on ours.
one step at a time, one step at a time, y'all. So today was a
So
good day for me. How about you, babe?
I'm exhausted. I'm
You want,
exhausted.
well, before we really jump into it, babe, just tell them what you've been doing this week.
Okay. So I have y'all look at this scratch right here. Oh my god.
That's where you gotta get a little color like me.
Oh
You
my
know, get that little.
gosh.
I
Okay,
hope it
so
don't turn into a
listen.
bruise.
I hope not. So this week I'm participating in Camp Sparkle, which is the Girl Scouts spring break camp that they have. And Hello, My Name is Beautiful is showing up, participating, and I'm exhausted and it's only day 2, y'all. But I'm also so rewarded as well to be able to hear girls from kindergarten to 5th grade say that they're beautiful. We talked about, the use of affirmations, how they help, those type of things. When I say like my heart is full, it's full, and we only on day 2. And so just to be grateful to participate, I'm honored. It definitely shows me the need of what's needed for the little girls to be able to pour. So I'm grateful. So
I'm excited for it. Of course, it's a Girl Scout thing, so can't be there. But
yeah,
I'm there
but
in
Camp
spirit,
Beautiful
though.
is in the air, y'all. So just be ready because Camp Beautiful is in the air. God gave me the vision when I was working on this. So more things to come. More things to come. But
Yes. So
um
you've been enjoying it.
I have been enjoying
That's
it.
awesome.
I
I
have been
love it.
enjoying it.
I love it. So now we could get to our adventures for
Yes.
today.
So last week, y'all, we talked about oh, wrong way. We talked about resolving conflict. And towards the end of the show, we got the question or the thought of what happens when, you or your spouse, one of the two, is sitting in a situation that God is allowing to happen and there's nothing that you can do about it. Right? You try to, help them figure out a resolution. You try to figure out ways, to help them get out. But no matter what you trying to do, you putting your hand in it, God is like, no, 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 no. You need to back off. How easy is that? Right? How easy is that to sit and watch your spouse pretty much go through to be able to receive the lesson that God needs them to receive?
But let's think about it like this, babe, because we remember we don't just talk about marriage, right? We talk about all types of relationships, right?
Yeah.
And as
Right.
you
So it could
was
be your kids.
right, so as you was saying that, it made me think about the kids, and it also made me think about my little brother and my older brothers, and just my relationships that I had in general. And it really hit me as you were saying this, babe. Like I really went to another level because as we try to fix everything, or we try to at least be there to fix, is it our job to fix everything? It's not our job as a little brother or a big brother or a father, a husband. It's not always our job to fix everything.
Never
It's
our.
it and it's never really
We have responsibility to,
okay. Yep,
right?
yep.
Because God gives you the kids, right? God gives you the family members, but that's the difference of understanding what's your responsibility versus what's God's.
Right.
And like,
But we lose
even
that.
we do lose that because we get in that feeling of, oh, I need to have my hand in it,
Right.
or I need to support. Like, as a mom, I'm supposed to support my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But you also lose the fact, well, whose kids were they from the beginning?
Right.
And that's God's. And so understanding that even though they are your kids, they're his kids first. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that does mean, as a parent, that you have to sit and watch your kid go through to get the lesson that they need to get. And that's a hard thing,
That's
especially as a
really
parent to
hard
watch.
as a definitely as a parent. So that's what, as you were as speaking on that on the spousal side, I was looking at on the father side, like it might be even more difficult to sit back as a parent and you see your son, you see your daughter struggling with something, but it's not in your place at that moment to really jump in. But we may jump in too early.
I and that's what I think what we have to do is we have to learn when we're supposed to jump in, right? Because our first instinct is, let me go help.
Yep, yep.
But if we haven't connected with God to say, God, can I help? How can I help? How do
How
you
can
need
I
me to
help?
help?
Right. Instead of
Right?
just jumping and going.
But we don't do that.
Mm-mm,
And that's where I think we have to shift perspective on the fact that, listen, I don't care what our family members, what our spouse is going through. We got to check in with God first
mm-hmm.
and wait for him to say, okay, now you can do what you need to do, or here's what I need you to do, versus just running. Because when we run and we go support and we do the things for them, for our spouse, for our kids, God, we they may miss the moment.
They're gonna miss the moment.
They may miss that moment. They may not get the opportunity to see God show up
Mm-hmm.
because we got in the way of that.
Or just to see they self show up. You know, because a lot of times we lose the confidence in ourselves
Mhm.
on the everyday. Because again, like if you're not aligned with God and yourself yet, then you're gonna miss a lot of those gems that he will throw at us. Um, so we so now the other question is, I guess the other question would be is how do we just sit back and I guess it's through different circumstances on how long we sit back and wait. But if you haven't heard anything from God, should you even act on it? Should you move on it?
I think the how is you got to connect with God first, and he's going to give you the how. He's going to give you the how. He's going to give you the when, because he's the one that controls the situation, right? Because think about, if our spouse, our family, kids are in a situation, and we try and save the day, as they would say, and we're not in alignment,
We can mess it up even more.
we can make the situation even worse. Now we don't put our hands in it. They never got the lesson, but now God got a lesson for us because we got in it and we weren't supposed to. Hey, Kiana. Hey, beautiful.
And see, that's the biggest thing is probably really what that isn't within our kids, because we feel like we have to always be there, and if we're not there, does are our kids gonna look at us differently, or like we don't love them and all these things,
Now,
you know?
I think is when it comes to our kids, I think there's differences based on their age, right? Because the younger they are, if they really can't make the most informed decision because they don't know all the, may not know all the circumstances or may not be aware of how one action, like the cause and effect thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But as our kids get older and they are equipped to be able to handle, more responsibility, more more, authority or more say of their life, then it's a different situation, right? Like I'm not going to tell a 5-year old, hey, don't touch that flame because it's going to be hot. Because I'm gonna tell the 5-year old that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know yet. But the 16-year-old
You better know it.
should have already known that
Right.
lesson. So I think there's a difference of, I think the age plays a factor into it too when it comes to our kids.
Big time. Big time. Yeah. So I guess, and then I guess the circumstance to it as well can play a factor though, because I, I don't want to bring the so much negative into it, but if it's something that could possibly harm your child, then we got to step in. I don't feel like at that point should we should we even wait for that, because we need to step in if it's something that's potentially to harm them, right? You
No, no, no. I agree with you, but I guess I'm just trying to think about a situation because, like, what if that situation is because that was their choice?
Okay, let's say we at the park, right? And we got Nick standing on the
Now
edge.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I agree with you. That incident, I'm going to interfere.
Right. That's why I was just asking, if it's something that can harm them, should we really step in?
But define harm because you got physical, mental,
Um
emotional,
I would say physical harm.
right?
Yeah.
Physical harm, yeah, I'm interceding. If my child is in a position to cause themselves physical harm, I gotta jump in no matter what. But sometimes, like the emotional harm,
They gotta
sometimes
live through that
they
one.
gotta live through that
Yeah.
one. Like you
Yeah.
wanna, the hope and the expectation of a parent is that you've given them the wisdom to be able to make that right decision, right?
Hmm.
But sometimes, no matter how much wisdom we've given them, how much knowledge we've given them, there's going to be other factors that can interfere or hinder, what the right choice would be.
You're right.
Outside peers,
Hmm.
you may go to, hey, you shouldn't go hang out with the bad guys and y'all go to the store and rob somebody. Like, that's their decision.
You're right.
Like, but you
You're
would
right.
hope that your voice is loud enough
That it will over.
that it will
I got you.
overpower that. But sometimes peer pressure could do a whole lot of damage, no matter how well of a seed you've planted with your child.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because you just think about it and you go back to your times and how peer pressure was. I think they have a little bit more now, with the peer pressure piece of it, because of how prevalent social media is now.
Mm-hmm.
With us growing up, it wasn't we had that dial up internet, and it took forever to get online, and now it's instantaneously. As soon as you click a button, it's right there. Uh, so I guess that's all in that nurturing of the child as he and she grows throughout their everyday life, is that you're planting those seeds in them. So when that moment does come, we wouldn't have to intervene. They'll already be there
To make the right
to
decision.
make that right decision. So yeah, that was well said, man. Well said.
Because I mean, I think, with any, whether it's a child, a spouse, you're always going to say prayers, had your protection around them. But sometimes, no matter how hard you're praying, how often you're praying, things are going to still happen. But that's where seeing, the beautiful side of things, like, hey, what's the lesson in this, right? Maybe it was, the lesson for your child or your spouse to learn, but maybe there was also a lesson for you to learn
Ooh,
as well. And
ooh,
that
it was.
you need to get out of it and let me let God do what he do. So
It was. So That's crazy that you said that, babe, because of this. God is at that point is I don't want to say testing, but he's working through both of y'all at that moment, and not just like we may look at it as a one-sided thing, but really it's a two-sided thing because he like how much you gonna put your hand in this cookie jar and not let me
Mhm.
do what I gotta do,
Mhm.
so he could see or she could see what I see. Oh, baby, you knocking out the park. You
Oh
ain't
my
too sleep today.
gosh.
You ain't too
I'm
tired.
sorry.
Because that was a good
but
one though.
but
Because I
think
didn't think about it like that. Like so, in that case, it might not even be just that for the kids. It could be a whole family thing. That
mhm.
could be a whole lesson for the whole family.
Yeah.
Wow. See what I'm saying? This what that talk do though, y'all. Like having just little conversations like this, and you hearing somebody else's perspective or something, and then y'all could just be able to go back and forth with it. Man, listen, I always say you're gonna agree to disagree with certain things, but in this moment, I'm agreeing with everything because it's aligning up like it's making me see it because I didn't really think of it as in a conflict or anything that it's a one sided thing. Nah, man, this thing is full circle. It's full circle because even if we're at each other, right, in a conflict, how is that affecting the kids?
Mhm.
Sheesh,
Yeah.
y'all
No.
better stand on it. Stand on it, y'all. But okay, let's think of it like this, right? We do get into conflict and we on the negative side of it. But then we can show them how that's normal in marriage. But also you being able to get past that conflict
They get to see
and
the bounce
grow, they
back.
get to see that. And we had our
We've definitely had our moments, and
yeah.
I'm grateful for that, right? I'm grateful for the opportunities that we had because when I was growing up, sad to say, you didn't see that. You didn't get
Nah,
to
nah,
see the
nah.
disagreements between mom and dad, right? It was always behind closed doors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, what's
You
the
absolutely
family
right.
rule about like what happens in this house stays
Stay in
in
the
the
house.
house.
Yep.
And so, kids talk when you get around your kids, you like, well, I didn't, you don't get exposure to that. And that's not the dynamic I want our family to have. I want my kids to be able to see when mommy is loving daddy, but also when mommy is upset with daddy because they get to see how we get to recover from that.
Mm-hmm.
And that how, although we may have disagreements, we still can be on one
We
accord,
can still be on one accord because
right?
it's two personalities that now have to kind of work together. And then when you start adding kids to it, now you tagging on two more personalities plus their
Yeah.
personalities because they got some of our personality traits in them as well. So they're building their own personality on top of trying to figure out. So,
But I will say this for me too, though, is that although I want them to see both sides of this story, both sides of the story of the relationship, I also have to be mindful sometimes. Like, let's say you're in a moment of discipline, right?
mm-hmm.
I have to be mindful of how I intercede or interject myself as well, because I don't want to come over top of you.
And vice versa,
And
though.
right. But so we have to be like, sometimes you have to sit back, or I have to sit back as a spouse when you're disciplining the kids, for example, and just be quiet and not say, ho, 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 you wrong right now. Right. But because I understand that
Yeah,
all,
because we got two different styles.
but we
Yeah.
definitely have two different styles. But I also, so there's moments when I have to be able to say, hey babe, let's talk, let's what's that? Ease up a little bit.
Would you say Jigglypuff's in that moment too, though?
I will probably say Jigglypuffs in
All
that
right.
moment, because
Okay.
there are moments when your spouse is, may not be, let's say, disciplining the kids in the way that you
The way
would
your
would
style.
agree,
Yeah.
your style.
Right.
But you also can't be all out loud with
right in front of the kids and
you
everything.
all wrong right now, because then you start then the kids start saying, well, if mommy doesn't like what daddy is saying, then I'm not going to respect what he does anymore. And so there's a time and a place for when you need to say something and when you just need to sit back and watch. And then now, okay, now let's have this conversation behind closed doors. How could we have handled that situation a little bit easier?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, like when we first started, it was no, 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 no. Let's have this discussion right now in front of the kid. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
now it's like no, like
but that's the growth
that's the
in the
growth.
both of us though, because I would definitely say this. Uh, when we first got together, when we first got married, that I probably didn't completely really know myself, um, or know myself, or at the same time was happy with self. And I'm gracious and glad that you're able to continue walking this journey with me, because I've known I know that it's probably time where you wanted to. I'm out of here,
I mean, it's vice versa. I ain't always rosy on my side. It ain't always beautiful over here.
but
There was
we
some
gotta speak
drama.
on it.
There was some things when coming like, oh no, I can't deal with this or her. You know what I mean? but
But
that's but
that's the
that's the
beauty
beauty
in
in a
this.
relationship, is that
Yes,
you get to grow through the things. I mean, because think about it. I'm coming in with a daughter, right? And so there's that dynamic of now trying to create a blended family.
that might be our next topic then.
Yeah, that might be the next topic. So I'm kind you know, you got a blended family, then you have two different parenting styles. You have
And then
an outside
yeah,
parent
because I said
trying to
because he was
cause
still around.
conflicts.
Yeah,
Like just yeah, that is another topic because that's a whole different
yeah,
scenario
yeah.
about how we survive that because Lord.
We survived it because I'm gonna say this. You kept God first all the time. I and because I spoke on this, I don't know what episode that was, but I spoke on this. We weren't married at the time when that. No, we probably was married at the time when it started, but I started seeing how she was starting to move and things, and I was like, you know what, I need to align myself better. And a lot of people think that you have to go to church every day and do all these things to change your life. You don't have to. You could and should, but you can change just by how you love yourself, how you love the people around you, and that you are speaking and living positive. Because we could be going somewhere and listening to somebody telling us nonsense for real, but you got to be able to understand and read and see what that means for you, because that, they said I had to grow, or she was going to grow without me, so I had to do my part and stand up on it. So I just have to tell you thank you, babe, because like I say, you can flip it and say it ain't peaches and cream on this side either, but yes, but it's the same thing, right? So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So and see, um, so yeah, and let's go back a little bit from last week with all conflict should be done calmly and in a positive way, because even in a negative conflict you'll find a positive. You got to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. It's every situation is a learning situation. So if it's something that if you change your perspective of it and say that I can learn from this, then you're gonna see a change, because you have to be able to grow, to learn, um, and accept that criticism from your spouse when she might say something to you that is not aligned with yourself. Um, Missed moments from your spouse.
Yeah, no losses, Kiana, only lessons. Absolutely. Like you have to be able to see the beautiful in everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes when we in the bad and the ugly, we like, God, I don't, what's this about? Why, why me? But sometimes our biggest and most biggest blessings are in the hardest lessons. Like, what's the saying? The hard head don't make us off
Yeah.
behind, or whatever it is. Like sometimes you got to go through to find the best parts of yourself,
You got
right?
to go
To
through it.
to find the determination, to find the strength, to be able to find, the will to keep going. Like you can't do that without going through something. And so if it's just a matter of shifting perspective, and so now you can, whenever you're in that storm, of being able to say, look, even in this, there is still beautiful. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
hmm
Let's see. Where could we go with this one now, wait?
I'm good. I ain't got nothing else. God, I'm tired, so I ain't got nothing else to pull from.
But no, you made some really, really solid points earlier. Just in those moments, because as I know, as a husband, as a dad, we always feel as though we have to fix problems, we have to fix conflicts, but sometimes it's not meant for us to even to do that. So when we are trying to fix these things and it's not working, and you see it's still kind of rocky, that's time to step back and let God step in and
hmm
handle his business. Because at that time, that's when you say, you know what, it's this ain't something that I could fix. I gotta get out the way. So
Yeah, that scripture about lead them in a way that they should go. Like that's how our journey should be. Is no matter what, like we are supposed to give them the wisdom, steward them to be able to make the right decisions. But their free will still, their own beliefs that they've created, peer pressure, social media, all of those things can come in and interfere. And no matter how many times we've told them, like, hey, you need to do this and that, or think about this and that, there's going to still sometimes be a greater force at play. And so sometimes we just have to be able to sit back and just watch. It's going to be painful, but again, it's finding the lesson in that and just saying, okay, God, I, I got to trust you for my child. Can you make this as easy as you can? Right. And, there's always that thing, God, if anybody got a bit of pain, let me be the one to bear the pain.
mhm.
But sometimes we got to bear our own pain because there's the lesson in it we was talking about, Kiana, right? So,
Yep. Yep. Lessons. And if we stop looking at L's as losses and look at them as lessons, you will
mhm,
definitely change your perspective on things. And it's funny that you say that, Kiana, because I tell my soccer kids that. I tell my youth that. I say you have to change your perspective on what an L means. Because when you look at life as lessons, what do we do with lessons? When we were kids, we learned from lessons. I always tell them, I say, you only become a loser when you accepted your loss, and you're like, I'm not going to grow from this. I just want to. I'm complacent at where I am, because L's aren't losses; they're lessons for you to learn from.
mhm.
So yeah, I love that saying. I'm glad you said it, because I I say it all the time. That I know my kids probably get tired of me saying it to them, but I always leave them with, all I ask you to do is be better than you were yesterday. And that's growth. There's an old saying: Rome wasn't built overnight,
Mhm.
and it wasn't. So when we out here and we're looking for things, we can't just automatically just assume it's gonna come because I prayed on it last night. It's gonna be there for me in the morning. It don't work like that, because you have to pray on it, but you have to live it. So you can't just pray on it. You gotta live it. You gotta walk with that. So let's just remember that back in your head. Just try every day to be better than you were yesterday, and that's in everything. That's in everything. That's in your parenting. That's in your marriage. That's it's in everything pretty much. It's in your own self esteem when you look in the mirror. You know, if anybody is out there that's working out, don't look at pounds. Look at inches.
Hmm.
If you lost an inch, you winning. You're winning. Even if you're not losing inches, if you're getting up and you're doing your same routine of working out, excuse me, you're still winning. It just may take you a little longer. So don't compare yourself to the next person because it's gonna take you a little longer. You know, you go to work out and you see somebody over there, they on the treadmill and their treadmill on 5 and they sprinting. That don't mean you got to do that. That
You
don't
gotta
mean you
find
got to
your
do it.
own
You
journey.
got to find your own journey. You got to find your own pace. You got to find your own path. It goes back to that when I was telling y'all about the turtle in the head. The turtle, slow, steady pace, and got victory. But that turtle wanted to, I mean, that head wanted to take off and sightsee and all that, and he ended up losing that race. So yes, all I ask for each and every one of y'all when y'all standing and looking in the mirrors with your glacier up there. They had another picture too. They supposed to have another picture up there too. Oh, I am. Y'all still doing all that, right? Saying I am. You got your glacier, you got your mirror.
Hmm.
We good. We are good.
Right, Kiana.
That and see, that's the perspective right there. You're not sitting on the couch because that's me sitting on the couch eating cookies.
Yep, it's just a shift
Probably
perspective.
brownies
Like, yeah, we want to be on the treadmill at that level 5, but listen, we gotta meet. We gotta be realistic and honest with
with
where we are.
yourself. Yep.
Like, what's that? The thing couch to 5K. Like, we gotta gradually train. We gotta gradually be able to get there, because it's in the gradual moments that it sticks. Right?
Yep.
We learn that the slower pace that we go, it becomes a habit, right? They say it takes 21 days to make it a habit. It takes 21 days. Like, if that's the, I don't know, I think it's longer than that, but it's like we have to slow walk it. You cannot expect to run a 5K if you've never even walked a 5-minute mile. Not even 5-minute mile, but 5 minutes. Like, you got to think about it like that.
That's
So
I'm gonna change it a little bit more, right? So those that like to travel, right? What do you get to see more when you travel? Do you get to see the world more as you fly or as you drive?
I'm driving.
You're gonna see more of the world if you drive. But it's just that's that turtle in the head. I want to hurry
Mhm.
up and get to my destination though. So you're gonna miss everything that comes along that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But depends on the travel too. If I'm going somewhere far, right? Now I've learned that my time matters. So for me, I want to, if I'm going to the beach, right? I'm talking like clear blue water, none of this around in this area where I can't see my feet if I'm standing in the water. Like, I want the clear blue water where I can see, I don't want to see the fishes swimming as we were doing. But y'all know what I mean, because I want to get to that destination. I'm looking for the quickest route, right? Because I want to get there and enjoy my time
That's
there.
that's this that's different. That's
But
different.
but I also understand that being in a car and slowing it, and you get to observe. It's like when we tell the kids when we riding, like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all get off your tablets.
Mm-hmm.
Look and see the countrysides, right? Look and see the things that you can explore, the different colors, because it is about the journey, right? It's not always about let's get there the quickest. Like, let's have the time together to be able to explore. Like, remember when you was kids and
Mm-hmm.
you was doing the punch buggies,
Punch buggy, no
or
punch back.
the I Spies,
Yep.
like all of that
Yep.
other stuff. Like, we've gotten so far away from that because we're like, are we there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet? Right? Are we there yet? So now let's get back to, let's play the games back in the car. Let's figure out how to, they got the little connect fours that you can do or whatever it is. But it really is about the destination, except when I'm ready to get to some clear
Yeah,
blue
no,
water.
no. See
Like, get
that
me to
that's a
some clear blue
different
water.
that's a different, that's a different situation right there because again, you want to get to that destination because that's your vacation time.
Mhm.
But we just talking about in your journey in life. But in your
Yeah,
journey
but
in life,
sometimes in our journey in life, we do want that airplane ride
but
because we
we
want it over
want it
quickly.
though.
Right. We want it, but
But do
that's
you
not the
need it?
lesson. That's not
Right.
right. You never get to get the full lesson if you're rushing the process.
Right. So
Yep.
that's why I say it kind of it goes back to that conflict thing, is the where we want it instantaneously. We want to fix that conflict instantaneously, but maybe it's not that time to fix it right there and fix it. Maybe we gotta slow walk this thing so that everybody that's a part of this conflict gets a piece of this. All right, how can I grow from this conflict? How can I grow from this conflict? How did you grow from this conflict? That's where I mean where we gotta kind of
There
yeah.
is and I don't remember the book down, but it was really talking about being patient in the waiting. Right,
Oh.
because when you're in the trial, when you're in the thick of it all, we're like, God, get me through this
Now.
quickly, right? Get
Yeah.
me through this now. Like, what's the lesson? Because I'm tired of waiting. But sometimes God has us in the waiting to be able to develop our patience, to develop our peace, to tell us, get your hands off of it, get your hands out of it, um, to trust me, to just wait and learn, like even in the waiting, learning to love the silence sometimes because you could be, you know, waiting and praying like, God, I need an answer. God, I
hmm
need an answer. God, I need an answer. When really he's like, listen, I just need you to hear me,
That's it.
or I need you to desire me at the same rate that you want release out of this situation.
Right. But babe, I was reading some of the comments. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's
You
some
on it?
Facebook comments popping up and we ignoring them.
Where?
I don't know. This is not. I guess it's not
We
Facebook.
don't see him on our end, y'all. Sorry.
But so can you not see the Facebook
That's
comments?
what I'm saying. I see
Oh
Kiana's.
yeah, we do see Kiana's Facebook. Okay, sorry, Miss Cynthia. Sorry, we
Oh, we ain't see no comments on here. Must be something with the stream today. Sorry,
oh
we'll go
man.
back. We'll go back. Um, so thank you for pointing that out. We definitely didn't. We've been seeing Kiana's. That's the only one we've seen. So if somebody else gave comments, we apologize. We'll go back. Um, yes, that's okay. We love you, Cynthia.
Yeah. Hey, look, we here for it all. We here
Maybe
for it
Facebook
all.
is interacting weird. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
only
But
seen
it's funny
Kiana's.
because Kiana and I'm gonna tell y'all, I was like, dang, we in only in here by ourselves today. When then Kiana popped in, I'm like, I bet we got one. Cause Alicia always say all you need is one. So we start with the
Oh, she
one.
said Leslie here too. I can't see any comments either. Oh, that's so weird.
You know what it
We
is?
see your.
It's that little thing you put at the bottom.
No, it's
Nah, I just
not.
mess with you.
Leave my little thing. I'm trying to be
No,
like
no,
Leslie. I'm
no, that's
trying to be
awesome.
grown like Leslie.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But we gotta figure it out for the next time.
Oh, I can't. Okay. Well, if y'all gave comments, we apologize. We ain't seeing 'em. Y'all just have to. We'll go back. We'll go back and look at them in response. So thank y'all. What else? Oh, don't forget June 8th, June 8th, June 8th. Y'all ain't got your tickets now. Go get your tickets. A beautiful concert. Oh, let me tell y'all a thing. I thought I was done with all my speakers, right?
Oh, okay. I'm
However,
getting booted off the list, y'all.
you're not getting booted. However, God put someone on my heart, and I'm not. I'll share her name soon. But God put someone on my heart, and I had her name on my heart. Then I saw her, and as soon as saw her, it was like, okay, I'm asking. So she said yes. So I'm going to be announcing her soon. But to be able to hear her story, to be able to um experience who she is, what she's gone through, you will be blessed. We talked about saying even as in this, they're still beautiful. This is that representation of that, right? She is an illumination of what that looks like. So I will announce her soon. So I thought I was done with my speakers, but again, God said, nope, one more. So we're gonna figure that agenda out. But if you have not received your ticket for a beautiful encounter, go get your ticket. Go to a beautiful encounter.eventbrite.com. It is going to be
You
absolutely
don't want to miss
amazing.
this.
You don't want to miss this.
Mm-mm,
Um,
mm-mm.
this is our biggest leap that we're taking, my biggest leap that I'm taking.
But you
Um,
got your parachute, your bungee
I
cord.
got the
You
parachute, I
got it
got the
all. You
bungee
got
cord, I
God.
got the first aid kit. Like
We
I got it
good.
all.
We good.
Um,
We
but
good, babe.
I am excited and I'm super grateful for what's happening, and for what's to come, because I know that a beautiful encounter is this is just the beginning for what God is asking us to do. So go get your tickets, invite your good girlfriends. From the main sessions are from 12 to 5. We have Dr. Vicki Johnson, we have Alicia Johnson from 12:12, we have Vanessa Burns, we have Andre as the MC, myself, and then soon to be announced one more speaker. But it's going to be amazing. And then we have our pajama party celebration in the end. Because I mean, think about it. When's the last time the little girl within you dance, play games, had some fun with your good
You
girl?
got Jacks.
Listen, we're gonna have Jacks. You but
I can't
listen,
be there. I
not
can't be
not
there.
not not at this one. Not at this one. You can't be at the
Hey,
pajama party.
when you brought the little girl, I'm like Jacks. You gotta have Jacks. Wait, hopscotch too. I'm sorry.
How you gonna do a hopscotch on the
Wait,
carpet?
put that.
The
Put some
tape.
tape
Put
down.
some tape
Put
down.
some
Oh,
tape
there
down.
was that new hopscotch one that you do to the song. Oh, me, I had to play that. But
Four
listen,
corners.
listen, go on. But if you
Kids that don't
haven't
seven
got your
up.
ticket, go get your ticket. We're halfway through with ticket sales. I'm definitely claiming and receiving this event to be a sold out event. So please be in the building. Don't miss this. As Dr. Vicky is always saying, be in the room, to be able to experience a beautiful encounter, because you are a beautiful encounter. So we thank y'all for joining us tonight for the conversation on how to sit back when your child or your spouse is going through, how hard that can be, how challenging it can be, but also how rewarding it can be as well. So anything else?
It's rewarding for all the parties. It's not just a one sided thing. All parties will grow. So we have to learn. Take that step back and stay hands off. Hands off. But like I said, we only ask y'all every day. I only ask you every day. Just try to be better than you were yesterday.
Oh, yes, Cynthia. I'm sorry. Thank you. If you can't be in the room but want to sponsor another beautiful, I'm calling it Empower Her Present, please let me know, because there is a need. Um, if there's someone that you know that wants to be in the room, please let me know. But if you want to be a blessing to the event, inbox me, email me, call me, do what you need to do, send smoke signals, do whatever. Because it's going to be amazing, and I want everyone that should be at the event to be able to be at the event, and not worry about money. So if there is a need, please let me know as well. Yep, donations and sponsorships are freely available. So we thank y'all for joining us on a beautiful encounter. Yes, thank you for joining me at a beautiful encounter. But thank you for joining us on an unscripted beautiful life. We will see you next Tuesday.
Same bad channel, same bad time.
Lord have mercy. Good night, y'all. We love y'all.